Hey there, and welcome. We're going to jump right into this week's biggest stories that are making waves for UK businesses, from the top of a tech giant's boardroom all the way down to what's in your own wallet.
So what's the connection here? Well, believe it or not, they're all crucial pieces of this week's business puzzle. And together, they show us some huge strategic shifts, serious economic pressures, and, well, some pretty surprising opportunities you might be missing out on. Let's connect the dots. First up, let's talk about the long game. This is a challenge that, every single business owner is going to face sooner or later, but a massive move in the tech world has just thrown it right into the spotlight for all of us. That's right. After 2 whole decades, Spotify's founder, Daniel Ek, is stepping aside as CEO. Now, you might be thinking, what does a tech billionaire have to do with my business? But honestly, this is totally relevant. The question is universal. How do you get your business ready to thrive when you're not in the driver's seat every single day? So the key takeaway here is being deliberate, not just letting it happen. First off, you've got to build a strong leadership team, and then actually trust them to lead. Second, and this is a big one, separate the idea of owning the business from managing it day to day. They are not the same thing. Third, get your systems in order. You have to get that vital knowledge out of your head and into clear processes anyone can follow. Fourth, start focusing only on the stuff you can do, like the big picture strategy. And finally, plan how you're going to tell everyone. Being clear with your staff and customers avoids all that uncertainty and protects the value you've worked so hard to build.
All right, let's zoom out from a single company strategy and look at the real big picture, the UK economy. Because with the autumn budget just around the corner, the Chancellor has already started managing our expectations.
That doesn't exactly sound like a massive giveaway, does it? The Chancellor is clearly signaling a very, very cautious approach here. She's pointing to global pressures, long-term challenges. The message is coming through loud and clear. Get ready for a budget that's all about stability, not a big spending spree.
Now, what's really interesting here is how the Treasury might raise more money without huge, splashy announcements. They've already ruled out raising the big 3 headline rates. So instead, the likely move is to freeze tax thresholds. It's kind of like a stealth tax, because as your wages go up with inflation, it just quietly pushes more and more of your income into higher tax brackets. At the same time, they'll be looking at business reliefs, probably framing any cuts as just closing loopholes.
Okay, let's bring this right down to you and your wallet. This next bit is all about your personal finances. We're talking about money that could literally be yours for the taking and some costs that just feel like they keep on climbing.
So what on earth is this massive number? 758,000. Well, that is how many young people in the UK have not claimed the money from savings accounts that the government set up for them. And get this is the average amount of cash that's just sitting, waiting in each and every one of those unclaimed accounts. We're talking about child trust funds, or CTFs, for anyone born between late 2002 and early 2011. That is a staggering amount of money just waiting to be claimed.
So if you're between 18 and 23, or hey, maybe you employ people in that age group, listen up. Finding one of these lost funds is actually surprisingly easy. The government has an online locator tool on its website, and all you need is your national insurance number. Seriously, a 5-minute search could put a really nice chunk of cash right into a young person's pocket.
Okay, now let's talk about costs. And this chart, wow, it just perfectly illustrates what's been going on at the fuel pump. According to the Competition and Markets Authority, the average profit margin for supermarkets on fuel has more than doubled since 2017. It's jumped from 4% all the way up to 8.4%.
And let me tell you, the CMA, the official competition watchdog, is not pulling any punches here. They get that global oil prices are a factor, but what really worries them is that retailers seem to be keeping those margins way higher than they used to be, even when the wholesale costs come down.
But here's some good news. A plan is in the works to try and tackle this. It's an upcoming Fuel Finder scheme, and it's going to require retailers to share their live price data, which you'll then be able to see on apps and websites. The hope is that this kind of transparency will finally spark some real price competition and start pushing those high margins back down to earth.
All right, for our final section, let's look ahead. We're going to touch on 2 really key developments that are set to change how businesses operate and also where future economic growth is being targeted.
Now, this is a big one, folks, and it's going to affect every single employer in the country. The government is moving to a mandatory digital ID system for all right-to-work checks. Pretty soon, physical documents just won't cut it anymore.
The official ID will be stored securely on a mobile phone, and all businesses are going to need to adapt their hiring process to get ready for this new standard.
And finally, let's talk growth. There's some significant new investment coming down the pipeline aimed at turbocharging the creative sectors. We're talking film, music, gaming, outside of London. The government's injecting £150 million, and it's specifically targeting these 6 regions to build on their creative strengths and really accelerate job growth there.
So there you have it. When you pull it all together, you can see these really clear themes playing out. The long-term thinking of a founder planning their exit, the caution of a national budget under pressure, and these targeted bets on new tech and regional growth. So the question I want to leave you with is this. Looking at this changing landscape, where is your biggest opportunity to adapt and to thrive?